The interesting thing that's come out of this is that the Stop Trump effort is growing. Apparently, Mitt Romney tweeted yesterday that there's a, quote, bombshell in Trump's taxes. So he's trying to stir up the pot a little bit. Keep in mind that if this goes to a brokered convention, it could be very likely that they turn around and select Mitt again. So he's keeping his fingers in the pot. But you've got organizations like the Club for Growth. They're going to spend $1 million in Super Tuesday states on ads targeting and fighting Donald Trump. And every time they fight him, he gets stronger.
Where they come, who are they backing then?
They're not backing. It's anybody but Trump.
Right.
That's the whole attitude. Right? We've got to stop Donald Trump. So many people thought the ceiling of his support was somewhere around about 30%, but he got 46% in Nevada. And as people drop out, like Jeb, Trump gets stronger. He stands up there in front of the room, and now you've got the very.
Yeah, I don't understand that. You see, because Jeb was a kind of mainstream Republican, so how come Trump's got strong? Because they haven't gone to Trump, presumably his supporters.
A bunch of them have.
Well, that's bizarre, isn't it?
Bizarre. I mean, how do you go from 30-something to 46% if you're not picking up supporters of all the other guys that have dropped out? I mean, we started with 22 on the Republican side, and that went down to 17 on day one. And then the first one to drop out was Texas Governor Rick Perry, who was exonerated yesterday. He had his charges finally dropped, but he was the first indicted candidate. You start to think, okay, and it got crazier and crazier as you started to look at some of the permutations.
So, but Trump and Bush come from completely different angles, don't they? I mean, how come when Jeb Bush had dropped out, so how come Trump's support surged?
Because it's who's left. I mean, Cruz has come across as a liar. I mean, a pathological liar every step along the way. And his dirty tricks against Carson in Iowa, basically saying that that's how he won Iowa. That's how Cruz has got his only win, was by saying, and it was an organized robocall effort saying that Ben Carson has left the race. Throw your support to Ted Cruz. And then he tried the same thing apparently against Marco Rubio when they got to New Hampshire, or was it South Carolina? And it cost his media spokesperson his job because Cruz was outraged, but of course, didn't stop the guy from doing it. So,
Rubio himself is a sort of RoboCop thing, because that's stuff about him repeating phrases over again.
I mean, he's in so far over his head. Okay, that's the issue. I mean, he
can't do the job.
Not only can he not do the job, but he's, the Republicans try to say, well, he's a young Hispanic, he's our Barack Obama. He couldn't hold Barack Obama's sneakers. And that's part of the issue with what's going on there. And quite frankly, Donald Trump could beat Marco Rubio in Florida and Kasich in Ohio. So those are their home states. So if you lose your home state to Trump, and some think he's actually going to win in Texas, even though Cruz says he's got 50,000 people on the ground out there trying to get votes in the Texas primary.
I mean, all the time the Democrats must be rubbing their hands, and Barack Obama's advisors must be, and Hillary Clinton's, they must be very pleased by all of this.
Yeah, but